Good morning, friends. So, day 8, how is it going? Are you still at it? Are you procrastinating? We're not going to dig in too much. Today's going to be a pretty short video just because if you haven't already caught up, I want you to spend some time catching up, and I want you to really dig into the areas that you're struggling with. So for me, my biggest area of opportunity is visualization, and that's the piece that comes at the end. I kind of shuffle my Miracle Morning around so it fits my life, but my visualization is usually the piece that gets left on the floor, and I even set an alarm in my phone to like go back and revisit it in the afternoon, and just so far that hasn't panned out for me. So I know that's the area that I need to focus on, and I know that I am avoiding it because it makes me nervous. Truth, that's just my truth. So maybe for you it's journaling, maybe for you it's affirmations. Like whatever is the piece you're resisting is the piece you need to lean into the most, because you're going to learn so much. So if you're following along in the book, today we are on page 89, and Hal breaks down how to make your miracle morning happen for you in 6 minutes or less. So SAVERS, savers, there's 6, I'm like, I can count, I can. There's 6 different steps, right? And so really, you could just spend a minute on each one of them and just power blast through. You don't have to make each step any more complicated than that. And I know that when I'm really being honest with myself and when I'm really practicing this, even on the super busy days, I make it a point to do it. I'm not saying I've been 100% because I too am human. And I am sharing this with you as a way to like reinvigorate myself, right? And to get back on track and refocus, because I know it really works and I know it really rocks my life and helps me move forward into that person I want to become. And so that's my hope for you. So he says 6 minutes, you can make it happen. And when I first started, I was like, I'm just going to do it Monday through Friday, right? When the kids are in school and hubby's at work and all of that. But I found it's the most beneficial for me when I start my weekends with intention as well. So I don't think you should choose one day over another. I think you should make it work for you, even if that means you're sitting in your car and you go through the steps real fast. Obviously, let's not exercise. Let's not be crazy, okay? Quite frankly, exercise is usually the piece that I cut because I have already made exercise a part of my normal routine, and that happens later in the day for me. So when I'm doing my miracle morning, this is what it looks like. This is how I've made it fit my life. And clearly, I need to work on my visualization and add that more in, okay? But I get up in the morning, first thing, I make my bed straight out. I don't even get dressed. I make my bed right away because there's something so good feeling about starting your day having accomplished something already. And I feel like if your bed is made, it's like you're propelling yourself forward, right? Like I'm not going to go back to bed. My bed is made. I've checked a box. I've gotten something productive done already. Yay, me! Right? Okay, so I make my bed. I put on my workout clothes. Some days I brush my teeth. Some days I don't. I do brush them at some point. Don't be concerned about my oral hygiene. I'm an obsessive flosser. My dental hygienist loves that about me. But so I put my workout clothes on, I come out into the living room. If it's winter, I light a candle. If it's not winter, well then I don't. Sometimes I do, but not really. I get my coffee, I get my giant thing of water, and lately, because I've been getting up so early and Shani has the antenna, like she knows when I'm awake, I've been going back into my bedroom and closing the door, and that's working for me. I sit down with all the things I need. I sit down with my list of my why that I read out loud. I sit down with my journal. I sit down with my book. I sit down with a pen. I sit down with all my tools, okay? I immediately close my eyes and I try and meditate. I chase the squirrel around my head pretty much. And then I go right into journaling. I go right into journaling and I journal out my affirmations and then I say them out loud. And for me lately, I've been putting a couple little to-dos in my journal. And not like the boring, mundane to-dos, but like something that I have been meaning to do. Like I need to do an email training and there's something else. Like whatever little pieces that have been gnawing at me and weighing at me that I know if I just make some traction today, I'm going to get past that procrastination destination and just start. Because the start is what stops most people. Truth, right? So I combine my journaling, my scribing, to be technical, and my affirmations, and then I read my why statement, which I've just printed out. A reason that I do what I do, right? Because I want more freedom, I want more time, I want more happiness, I want more possibility. I want to rewrite the rules. I want to create a legacy. I want to teach my kids they can do anything they put their minds to. Like all the things that drive me and motivate me, and why I would be so sad if I was stuck and I wasn't making traction in my life. Like how crappy would I feel 5 years from now if I didn't actually take the action I need to. If I was too scared or too content in my mediocrity, right? Like, so these are the things that, this is a newer piece for me. I've started folding in. It's really helping me just to kind of like, I whisper it out loud to myself and I try and connect some emotion around it. So I'm not just reading words on a page, right? So that I can get kind of re-energized and reconnected to my focus and my why and just re-grounded. Reground? I don't know. That's not even a word. Whatever. Let's talk about coffee. So I don't exercise in the morning, truth be told. I do that later in my day, but I have my workout clothes on and I make it a rule. I make it a rule with myself that I cannot shower until I've gotten my workout in. And if I can't get a full workout in, some is better than none, and I'm going to celebrate that. So if that means I do 10 minutes of yoga or 10 minutes of 21-day fix or whatever, that's a win. That's a victory. I don't need to check like the entire box for me to be like, way to go, Sarah, because let's be real, life happens. So that's the same mentality I want you to take with your miracle morning, where some is better than none and done is better than perfect. So stop putting things off because everything's not perfect. Stop putting things off because you're struggling with one piece or because you don't feel like you have a big enough time chunk. You do. You can make it work. It might not be the entire piece and you might need to revisit something later in the day. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. He actually breaks into, I don't know, a chapter down the road where he talks about how your miracle morning doesn't have to be in the morning. Hashtag duh. It's just about simple practices that you're going to show up to every single day so that you can step into that person you want to become. If you're not developing yourself, well, you're just never going to get better. You're going to be the same. Do you want to be the same? Because if you're the same for the rest of your life, basically you're just decaying, my friend. So rock your greatness, step into who you want to become and make it happen. Okay, so after I have gotten up, I've done a few minutes of a few minutes of meditation. I've journaled out my affirmations. I've checked 2 boxes right there. I put a couple things that I need to get done to make myself feel like at the end of the day, I've won my day. I write those in my journal just to kind of refocus. And I've been also writing like why it matters. Like, why do I need to do this? Like, why does it matter? Is it just busy work or is it something that is really important? It's going to speak to my soul. It's going to move my business forward. It's going to help my family. Like, what is it? So I write that down and then I will open my Darren Daily text lately I've honestly just been doing this. I've been rereading this. This is personal development, right? I have a stack of books on my nightstand that I'm just trying to get through. And if I personally am like, I don't have a big enough chunk of time. And so my frog brain is like, oh, I don't have enough time. I'm just going to wait. How many of us do that? If all you do is put it off because you don't have enough time, you're never going to get around to it. So the point of today is just to begin, all right? Some is better than none. And then at the end of that, I've been doing my visualization, which I probably should bump that. I should probably just flush it up against my meditation because that's the piece I'm shying away from and that's the piece that I'm really struggling with. And that is the piece I know is going to move me forward. And that is why I'm avoiding it, because I'm scared. I'm scared of my own power. I'm scared of my own potential. I mean, it's scary to get out of your comfort zone and to get into something new. True, it totally is. So you can make it happen. You don't need a ton of time. Stop putting excuses above this. Stop doing it. There's 168 hours in a week. 168 hours. Will you take 1 or 2 of those to reinvest it back in yourself, to help yourself feel connected to who you are, to give yourself purpose, to give yourself a little shot in the arm, right? 168 hours, you guys. That's insane. So if you have a TV habit or you have a Facebook scroll addiction, like just shave a few minutes each day and devote it to this. And even if you aren't starting your morning off doing this, plug it into your bedtime routine or just make it fit for you. So I wrote this quote down and I freaking loved it. I shared something like it in my challenge group because it convicts me. And so I'm thinking it might speak to you as well. The moment that you accept total responsibility for everything in your life is the moment you claim the power to change your life. You're not a victim. Things are going to happen to you throughout life, circumstances outside of our control, right? But you are the driver of your bus and you get to decide how you're going to bounce back and what lesson you're going to learn and how you're going to be more resilient. You get to choose that. You're not a victim. Things aren't just happening to you unless you choose to let them happen to you. And I was talking to my kids about this last night. Like, you're not a victim. Don't act like a victim. You have power in whatever your circumstance is and whatever your situation is because you are completely in control of you and your thoughts and your words and your actions. You are in charge of you. So stop scapegoating and stop procrastinating and stop putting off your greatness, because you were meant to do amazing things. So freaking live up to that potential, my friends. I'm fist bumping you all. Okay, quote. There's a quote on page 101 I want to share with you. What is it? I don't remember. Okay, so this is actually the next chapter, from unbearable to unstoppable, and we'll dig into this more tomorrow, because it's all about like procrastination and how whenever you start something new, it's so uncomfortable. It just is, right? And so a lot of us use that discomfort as an excuse. Well, it's just uncomfortable. It's not. I'm not supposed to do this. This isn't the right time or the season or the chapter or whatever. I'll put it off. How many of you do that? I do that. I used to do that. Now, things that used to feel hard are now easy for me. That's one of my morning affirmations. Truth. Why not? Okay, so considering that our habits create our life, there is no single skill that is more important for you to learn and to master than controlling your habits / your mind. That's what I'm gonna say. You must identify, implement, and maintain the habits necessary for creating the results you want in your life, while learning how to let go of negative habits which are holding you back from reaching your true potential. So whatever is holding you back, journal about it. Surrender it. You probably can't control it anyway, so you can control this. You can control showing up to your life and taking 10 minutes a day to invest in yourself. So stop putting it off and just make it happen. All right, my friends. I want to know how it's going. I want to know what your struggle bus is. I want to see pictures of you doing it. So snap a picture. If you don't want to take a picture, a selfie of yourself doing it, well, show us your journal. Like, show us your journal. Show us your freaking book. If there's a quote that has resonated with you, I want to know. This isn't just a place for me to come chat at you. This is an interactive community for you to rock your freaking life and to step into your greatness and to just become that person you always wanted to become. I know when I was early in motherhood and up to my armpits in like diapers and fruit snacks and like everybody wanted a piece of me, that's how I first got on this journey, because I felt so completely lost and tapped out and like I didn't matter anymore. Like I was just his wife and I was their mom, and I was here to just keep things going. I was just here to make sure that people got fed and the house got clean and the litter box got scooped and the bills got paid, and I completely lost who I was. And I was so angry. I was so angry and so frustrated and so disappointed in myself that I couldn't just get it together, that I couldn't just figure it out. I look out and I'd see I wasn't even on social media much, so it wasn't even that comparison, but just being out, I would see other moms and they seemed like they had it all together and they seemed happy and they seemed like they had a purpose, and I was just here slogging away in the muck and lost, completely lost, eating my feelings, unhappy with myself. And so I had such a negative mindset, and all I would do was stew in that, in the lack and the not enough, and I should be, and I'm not good enough, and I'm never going to. And I remember my biggest thought my biggest reoccurring thought was always, I just want to be resilient. Like, I feel so weak. I feel like the littlest thing just knocks me on my ass and I'm lost and I can't rebound. And I don't want to raise girls like that. I don't want to raise little girls who feel that way and feel that it's acceptable to feel sad and discouraged and unhappy in their own skin. Like, I want to raise little badasses. And so that for me was my wake-up call. It wasn't about me. Sometimes it is about you. Like, in order to change your life, you either have to be inspired or you have to hit rock bottom, right? And so I wasn't inspired because I just wasn't. I was angry. I was angry and I was resentful that all these other people had something that I didn't have. And I finally realized that I was the only one that could change that. Like, my most amazing, productive, resilient life wasn't going to come out of a vending machine. My abs and, like, you know, feeling good and not being in extra large size clothes, like, that wasn't just going to magically change. I had to freaking show up and take an active role in my life if I wanted to change it. And once I made that aha, that helped me. Like, that was my rock bottom. Like, I hated who I was becoming and I missed who I used to be. And here's the deal, like, you're never going to be who you used to be. So if that's what you're striving for, if you're like, I just want to be that girl again or whatever, you're never going to be that person again. You can't. And that's okay, because things have happened to you. They're pieces of your story. Your test is your testimony, right? And so it's going to build who you are going to become. But I had to hit that place where I was like, I am so tired of being stuck, and I am so tired of complaining, and I'm so tired of being broke and broken and angry and sad and whatever. I was tired of my bitch fest. And so I couldn't, for me, hitting that rock bottom, it wasn't just the switch, right? Like, I still had a hard time showing up for me. Really? I did. I couldn't show up for me because there was still the to-do list, and I still had all these kids, and at that time I had 3 kids in a double stroller. Like, they were 4, they were 4, 2, and 1 when I started this journey. And so my traction came when I shifted it from, I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this for them. And maybe for you, if you're a mama and you're in that martyr phase of your life, maybe that will help you. Don't do it for you, do it for them initially, just to get yourself traction. So you're showing up, because it was hard and it didn't feel good to start working out. And I didn't particularly enjoy listening to podcasts when I felt like I could be eating my feelings, or there's so many other things I needed to be doing, but it wasn't about me, it was about them. And I didn't want them to have this become their life. I didn't want to teach them that it was okay to settle. I wanted to be resilient. And to become resilient, I had to just start showing up and getting some traction and failing forward and showing them what that looked like. And then daily action adds up. It compounds. And so one day after another, one action after another, one meal after another, one workout after another, one podcast after another, one book after another, one walk after another, all of that started to rewire who I was. And it no longer became something I had to do or something I was doing for them. It became something that I loved to do and I craved to do, because it had given me back my power. And it was not only raising fierce little badasses that were going to put up with bullshit and were going to rock their lives, but I was me again. I found me, and it led me to this, where I'm talking to you and I'm sharing my reel and I'm sharing my journey and I'm coaching lots of other women on their health and fitness journey. Because your health and fitness journey, it is not just about your abs. It's certainly not about the size in your clothes or the number on the scale. It's about rocking your life and stepping into that person that you've always wanted to become. So if you are not where you want to be, if you are not resilient feeling, if you don't love the skin you're in, even with its war wounds, we're not going to talk about doing jumping jacks or sneezing. Nope, we're not going to talk about that right now. But like, if you aren't loving who you are, you have work to do, my friend. Your life is amazing. You are one of a kind. And it is not enough to just limp through life and show up to each day and just see what happens. No, don't do that. Don't fall into that rat trap. So I'm fist bumping you today. I am encouraging you to step into that person you've always wanted to become. Who is your person? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be resilient? Do you want to be more positive? Do you want to be that person that like shines the light for others, that inspires other people, that person that other people look at and they're like, because of her, I didn't quit. Because she shared her reel, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. And so that's what I tell myself, even on the hard days, is it's not just about me anymore. I'm shining the light for others. I have to show you guys that it's possible, because if I could go from 200 pounds to where I'm at now, if I could go from negative and defeated and tired and worn out and lost to this, where I'm happy and excited and things are possible and like the sky is the freaking limit, why wouldn't you want that for your life? So we all have the same amount of time in the day. Don't give me that I'm too tired, I'm too busy excuse. We're all tired. We're all busy. You have to choose you is what this comes down to. It's not about motivation. It's about belief and choice and decision and then action to get the momentum to move you closer to your goal. And somewhere along the way, you're going to fall in love with all the action, with all the steps, and you're going to start to love the person that you're becoming. And you're going to realize, I wasted so much time. I could have just started. If I had stopped putting off my best, most amazing, crazy, cool life for someday when it all would work out. Today is your day. Make it freaking happen. Show up to your life. Invest 10 minutes in you, because it is the very best investment you will ever make. Drop a comment below. Let me know that you're with me. Add someone in that needs to hear this. Make it count today, my friends. Drive your bus.